Hello, good afternoon and welcome to today's vlog for Wednesday 17th of June. Hope everybody is well. Going to do things in reverse today, so going to talk about today's work first. I left you yesterday afternoon. I was on my way back from Hereford and I had a collection from Bury St Edmunds to Colchester. That went absolutely fine. Just 2 Euro pallets of printed matter. I've done the job before, wasn't expecting any issues, and there wasn't. On the way doing that job, I won a job for this morning. Fancied something nice and easy and straightforward, and that's what I got. It was a job from Braintree, which is sort of 30 minutes from Colchester, for a medium van going 23 miles to Billericay. Billericay, if you don't know, is just sort of Brentwood, Basildon, just north of those two places. As I say, 23 miles. I put a price of £60 on that and got that. I had a pretty good idea what it was going to be, and it wasn't going to be a problem, and that's how it turned out. Collection was at 8 o'clock this morning. Got there at 7:45 and I was away at about 8:15, and I was empty on site in Billericay for 9:15. I was able to park up where I delivered. It was sort of a new housing estate, not a housing estate, new batch of houses on the edge of a farm. So there's plenty of places to park up and look for work. I've got to be honest, it seemed really quiet. The CX wasn't exactly popping. Same day courier network looked quiet. The HSBC app I had a look at only had 3 jobs on it, which is unusual for them. There wasn't a lot coming up at all. There was one job which I left alone for about 10 minutes, and then I put a price on, and that was from Wickford, which was about 15 minutes away, going up to Baldock in Hertfordshire. It was a small van. The job notes said it was a gearbox and a prop shaft. Not dirty, clean, on a pallet, on a Euro pallet, weighing 50 kilos in total. I'm not really quite sure why that put me off, but something sort of rang a red flag of it. I left it alone, and then I did put a price on it. It's a 63 miles. I put a price of £80 on it. Up to about half an hour or so later, that job, or that quote, was still sitting there with that job. I'm guessing the shipper was reluctant to pay that amount of money, but didn't want to dismiss me just in case he didn't get it covered. But anyway, I did win a job at about 9:45. Bearing in mind it was quiet, I made a quick decision on this. It was a job from Basildon, which was again 15 minutes from where I was, going to Fakenham in Norfolk. Small van job, 117 miles. Ideal world, I'd be wanting a 140 for that. I'd want £1 a mile and a little bit extra, because it's very, very unlikely to get any work in that part of the world. However, it was quiet. I had roughly around 30 vans in various states of availability within a sort of 10-mile radius of where I was. And what jobs were coming up were also disappearing very, very quickly. Obviously, you've always got an advantage if you're looking on the laptop rather than the mobile app. And as quick as I went to look at jobs, it came up sold. So I went with a price of £100. Say not perfect, but I thought if I can get this job, it gets me going, and I did. I got a phone call pretty much within a minute. It is a shipper I've worked with before. They were happy for me to do it, and off I went. So 15 minutes later, I was on site. It was 2 large boxes, not heavy, and I'm away. Straight journey. I like the drive up to Norfolk, down the 127, up the M25, M11, A11, all the way through Thetford, right up, and then you sort of cut off up through Swaffham and up to Fakenham. I think we'll come in about 2.5 hours, I think it was. Got the stuff off and had some lunch, and there's nothing going to be, I don't expect anything up in Fakenham way. Didn't disappoint, there wasn't anything. And I'm making my way back down now towards Thetford. I will park up in Thetford, should be there for about 2:45. I'm going to sit there for a little while. I got there and Bury St Edmunds and see if anything pops up. Going forward, I spent last Sunday when I do my accounts for the business, and I do my personal accounts and the household accounts, which I look after, and I was just looking at the sort of immediate future. Now, if you followed me from sort of day one, you know my situation, you know my age, in the early 60s. This is a job I do because I want to do it. Financially, I have a private pension that comes in that covers my household expenditure and my day-to-day living expenditure, and therefore there's no pressure on me. And I've got to be honest, the last couple of weeks I've started to feel a little bit tired. No particular reason, nothing health-wise with it. I've just got to pull up because there's a police car behind me. I don't think he wants me anyway. Don't know what he wants. Perhaps he doesn't want. No, he doesn't want me. Yeah. So I was giving some thought about the next few months. As I say, I'm a little bit tired, and I think I sort of need a break. I've got a bit of a mixed bag coming up in the next couple of months. On Monday I'm off because the car is due for its annual MOT and service. The dog is also due for its annual MOT and service. I need to go and get some tyres, which I probably want to do on Friday, because we're going abroad with the car in very, very soon. And I don't know what this police car's doing. I don't know what he's doing. Anyway, so yeah, sorry, I've been totally distracted by what's going on in front of me, which I haven't got a clue. Yeah, so I've been looking at and thinking, I think I really need a bit of downtime, a bit of me time. So I don't really do this job for money. I do it because I like it and I enjoy it, and because of that I can pick and choose when I'm going to work. So as I say, I've got some things to do with the car and the dog coming up the end of this week, early next week. Middle of next week the wife's got to go into hospital for a small operation, no issues, but she'll need looking after for a couple of days. I've got a couple of days and then we're away on holiday, bits and pieces through July, and then we're back on holiday again in August. So I've decided I'm going to have some me time. I've worked out to the penny, if you like, exactly what sort of costs for, if you like, running the van and not running the van, and I can do that, cover those costs by just doing the odd day here, the odd morning. If I've got to drop the wife at the station at 6:15, I will do that. Perhaps do a job for £70–80. I'm going to call it a day. I'm going to go home by 9:30, 10 o'clock, sit in the garden, read a book and relax. Lovely neighbours have said I can use their beach hut by our little beach anytime I like during the week, and we moved up to the coast because we wanted that kind of lifestyle as we got older. We wanted a more relaxed lifestyle, we wanted a better work-life balance, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm not worried about making any money in the courier game for the next few months. I'll just tick it over, cover the costs, and just take some time off. So with that, I'm going to stop the videos from today. There isn't much point in just doing one here and there. I think that the purpose of these is to try and get some continuity of how I'm finding it, and therefore you can compare how you're finding it, and obviously try and put across bits and pieces from the courier world. And we've covered an awful lot over the last month or so, regarding CX, regarding ADR, regarding all the problems that come with doing this job. I just as a slightly side issue, I did get a text message at lunchtime today from the CX saying that Trusted Loads is here, and I can start it early, and they sent me an email apparently all about it. I haven't looked at the email yet. I will look at that tonight and see what that involves. I've got an idea, but we'll see it exactly. And when I do work and do bits and pieces, that's a good way of bedding it in and seeing what that's all about. And as I've mentioned in various posts, the idea of that is to try and eliminate all the screenshot and yeah, that brigade, and get rid of all the uninsured drivers and the ones. Did you see, you may have seen in national papers at the weekend, again soon sidetracked, border force, immigration did a raid on a DPD depot. I think it was Guildford, and they nabbed about 12 DPD drivers that were working there with no right to work in this country. Of course, as we know with DPD, some of those, they use an outside third party to recruit drivers, and obviously that outside third party is not doing their due diligence, and basically just getting drivers in to drive vans to cover the work. And because that, you know, if they're doing the jobs cheap because they've got no right to work, then that's depriving good people of work. And if good people who do their own van want to go and work for someone like that and earn a set money, that means there's less drivers on the CX, and that means more work for us. That means better rates. So it has a sort of knock-on effect all the way down the track. But anyway, I don't want to digress too much. So that's going to be me. That's going to be the last one today. So I will end by saying thank you to everybody that's sent me comments, subscribed, watched, liked, all the normal bits and pieces that go doing a YouTube channel. Saintsman will still be around. Hopefully Delivery Man will be back posting, and hopefully we'll see some stuff from Dave at Anvil Courier Collective. And if I've ever missed anybody out, please stick it in the comments, and you know, hopefully people will see any links there to people that do YouTube videos. So I'm going to say have a lovely summer. I will probably be back, I think, probably in the first week of September, whatever that date is. Hopefully I will be relaxed, fully refreshed, and ready to attack the 4 months leading up to Christmas. So thank you very much all, take care, and we'll speak in a few months. All the best. Cheers, Paul.